CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
On the afternoon edition, Oakland police giving an update on what they call a critical bust targeting members of the Sereno Street Gang accused of multiple murders. Thanks for being with us this Thursday. Officers say they arrested a handful of gang members on the streets of Oakland yesterday morning. And this afternoon, we're learning more about that operation. That was the result of an investigation dating back to 2016. Police say that they served 10 search warrants yesterday at locations in Oakland, one in Modesto, and one in Stockton. 8 suspects were arrested. 2 were already in custody. 9 people now facing federal charges of murder, attempted murder, and narcotics and firearm distributions. Police in Oakland say they are connected with 34 homicides across the Bay Area, 24 of them in Oakland.
They have greatly contributed to the violence within our community, specifically here in the city of Oakland. We have seen a reduction of shootings to include murders related to this group.
3 additional suspects are facing state charges. The OPD says they are still looking to make more arrests. The government has now been shut down for 30 days, and Republicans and Democrats still locked in a stalemate. The Senate not even planning to vote on a funding bill today, and this is as funding is set to run out for SNAP recipients on Saturday. The free preschool program Head Start also bracing for a pause in funding. About 10% of Head Start centers were set to get their federal funding on Saturday, and without that money, some preschools might have to close. The National Head Start Association says some of the affected centers are in the South Bay and the North Bay.
These aren't just numbers on a budget line. These are parents that have to leave their jobs. These are children who could lose access to the quality early learning experiences that shape their entire future.
Earlier this year, the Trump administration asked Congress to eliminate funding for Head Start. The cost of health care has been a major driver of the government shutdown, with Democrats saying they want to bring back subsidies for plans on the Affordable Care Act. As they're debating in Washington, open enrollment is starting for covered California plans. And if nothing changes, families' premiums could more than double.
Be thinking about not going 1 meal less a day. I mean, we're talking about drastic cuts to my life.
Open enrollment for those plans starts on Saturday. Meantime, local food banks say they're already seeing an increase in demand during the shutdown, and they're preparing for more people to come in once SNAP benefits expire this weekend. Some Bay Area restaurants offering free or reduced meals for SNAP recipients, and the city of San Francisco giving out grocery gift cards in the month of November. 2 new affordable housing buildings are opening in San Francisco. They are part of the Hope SF project in the Sunnydale neighborhood. They will add 170 apartments for low-income families. The ground floors of the buildings will have childcare centers, a food hall, and a grocery store. A new report, meantime, from the San Francisco's Comptroller's office says Mayor Daniel Lurie's family zoning plan is not going to build enough homes to meet state requirements. The city needs to build 36,000 new homes, and this report says if passed, Lurie's plan would build just shy of 15,000 units by 2045. A state report from September found the plan, though, did meet the housing element requirements. The mayor's office sent us a statement saying, quote, "Too many parents are already afraid their kids won't be able to afford to live in San Francisco. Mayor Lurie's family zoning plan will help build the housing we need and meet our obligations under state law. We just need to get it done." President Trump is on his way back to Washington, D.C. following his meeting with China's President Xi Jinping. He called the sit-down amazing and announced that he is cutting U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods. Tina Kraus has more.
Following their first face-to-face meeting since 2019, President Trump called China's President Xi a great leader and said a trade deal could be signed, quote, pretty soon.
We have a deal. Now, every year we'll renegotiate the deal, but I think the deal will go on for a long time.
Trump says the U.S. is reducing tariffs on Chinese goods by 10% as China works to reduce the flow of illegal fentanyl.
He's going to work very hard on it. I think you're going to see some real action taken.
Trump says China also agreed to ease limits on exports of rare earth minerals and resume buying American soybeans, sales American farmers need.
farmers all across the state have had a challenging year.
Trump says he plans to go to China in April for new trade talks, and Xi will come to the United States sometime after that. Ahead of talks with his Chinese counterpart, Trump appeared to signal a major reversal in U.S. policy, announcing on social media he's directed the Pentagon to restart nuclear weapons tests. It follows a missile test by North Korea, as well as recent nuclear-powered tests by Russia.
I see them testing. I say, well, if they're going to test, I guess we have to test. I'd like to see a denuclearization.
Before leaving South Korea, Trump also said he will allow that country, a rival of China's, to develop a nuclear-powered submarine in Philadelphia.
The islands of the Caribbean digging out from the destruction of Hurricane Melissa as the storm now heads north. At least 30 people were killed, but that number could rise. Rescue crews are hard at work across the Caribbean. This is a look at some of Melissa's devastating impact in Haiti, which is reporting the highest number of people killed, at least 23, after the hurricane unleashed catastrophic flooding and landslides. The cleanup also underway in Cuba, where Melissa made landfall yesterday as a lesser Category 3 storm. More than 735,000 people were evacuated as Melissa approached. Flooding and mudslides caused severe damage to infrastructure, leaving some communities isolated. And emergency relief flights have started landing in Jamaica, where Melissa made landfall as a Category 5. At least 8 people are known to be dead there, but it might take days or weeks to determine the storm's full impact across the Caribbean. Melissa now headed for Bermuda as a Category 2 storm. All right, taking a look at our first alert weather, starting with a live look outside. Little cool, little gray around the Bay Area today. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Okay, Dr. Seuss, I hear you, Ann. Here's what's happening for us as we head outside today. I want to start off with the fact that, yeah, it's cool and it's cloudy, just like Ann said it. I'm going to turn on the clouds so you can see this painted picture all throughout the Bay Area. Earlier this morning, it was a lot more dense for our coastal communities. But I mean, take a live look behind me. This is from our rooftop here at KPIX. It paints a good picture, too. We're continuing to see surface visibility, not that bad, but those gray skies are holding on tight to us as we head into the afternoon hours today. Now, some other things I want to dive into. It was just yesterday we were talking about that temperature contour map, nice and warm, daytime highs above average. Let me show you what it's looking like today. You see a lot more light green and yellow, especially along the bay. Here's the thing. Daytime highs yesterday were about 10 degrees above average in places like Livermore and Hayward. Look at this afternoon. Let's zoom all the way in there. We're talking about daytime highs about 3 degrees below average. Okay, nothing to write home about, but that contrast compared to yesterday is definitely noticeable as we head outside today. It feels cooler. Grab the jacket. It's going to look a lot different as we dive into this weekend, just in time for Halloween. More on that coming up in a bit. Back to you.
Thanks, Jess. A new pedestrian beacon is lighting up a busy intersection near San Francisco's Panhandle area. It's just ahead of Halloween. This is at Fulton and Clayton Streets. The intersection is a popular crossing for students walking to the University of San Francisco and people heading toward the Panhandle. But one person we spoke with isn't sure yet whether the change will make a difference.
So it's kind of typical in San Francisco that people don't stop at stop signs and watch for pedestrians. So you have to be very careful. Yeah, let's see. I'll catch you next time, and I'll let you know.
City leaders say this is the last implementation of a pedestrian beacon safety project on Fulton Street. School closures might be back on the table for the San Francisco Unified District. The board meets tonight to discuss the future of several campuses. The district paused its school closure plan earlier this year after pushback from families, teachers, and students. But in a meeting on Tuesday, the board took the first step toward reviving the proposal, directing the superintendent, Maria Sue, to develop comprehensive options to address declining enrollment and a budget deficit. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Local tech stocks seeing some big moves, how artificial intelligence is impacting Meta shares. And the San Francisco Giants have a brand new manager, Tony Vitello, sharing his vision for the team for the upcoming season. And let's take another live look outside before we head to break. Gray at the Golden Gate Bridge. We'll be right back. All right, taking a live look at Wall Street, the big board there. You can see the Dow is down right now, but just a bit, about 14 points. And that is after we got some new from some Bay Area tech companies today making some big moves. Here's a look at the top 500 stocks courtesy of FinViz. Huge swings for Meta and Google's parent company Alphabet. Meta shares are plunging after the company reported third quarter earnings results. The social media giant warned investors that expenses will escalate as it doubles down on its artificial intelligence push. Aggressive spending on AI infrastructure and talent, raising some red flags for Wall Street and weighing a bit on the stock there. Meanwhile, Alphabet's AI bets have been paying off. The company reportedly sent its quarterly results showing strong demands for its artificial intelligence that sits largely in its cloud unit, the stock climbing to its highest level in a year. And Amazon's latest rounds of cuts announced this week going to impact hundreds of jobs here in the Bay Area. The tech giant plans to cut 14,000 corporate positions by early next year. According to the San Francisco Business Times, more than 600 of those jobs will come from Amazon's Bay Area offices in Sunnyvale, Palo Alto, and Santa Clara. And it's not just Amazon. Meta also announced that it's going to cut more than 300 jobs at its headquarters in Menlo Park starting next month. Investigators are asking people to keep an eye out for some priceless pieces of history that might be popping up at local flea markets or for sale online. That is after more than 1,000 museum artifacts were stolen in Oakland. The thieves took these things from the Oakland Museum of California's off-site storage facility last week. The museum director says based on what was taken, it was likely a crime of opportunity, not any kind of elaborate plan targeting the museum.
It is heartbreaking for people who really dedicate their careers to preserving and stewarding and caring for and presenting objects of cultural and artistic importance.
Stealing from a museum is a federal offense. Police in Oakland working with the FBI's Special Art Theft Division on the investigation. And meantime, in Paris, police have arrested 5 more people in the heist at the Louvre Museum. They now have 7 people in custody, but the stolen jewels are still missing. Back to our first alert weather now, taking another live look outside. Wow, look at all those clouds right now rolling into the Bay Area. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch. What are we even looking at there?
I was just about to say, if you didn't see that little sliver of blue up top above those clouds, I would have thought to myself, maybe the screen is broken. But here's the reality. That screen is also kind of painted just below me. Those clouds are holding on tight to us as we head into this afternoon all throughout the Bay Area, with daytime highs a lot cooler compared to where we were at just yesterday. Now, yesterday, I'm going to show you something. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Yesterday, we were above average. So you see this temperature contour map below me. Wednesday was nice and warm. Here's what today's looking like. In contrast, a lot cooler for us, especially in places like our coastal communities. We're right back down to average there, a little bit above average in certain microclimates, a little bit below average in others. This is what I'm kind of talking about. You head all the way up into Santa Rosa. We are right where we should be for this time of year. Simon, you don't even need to zoom in for that matter. Just to paint the picture, as we head into the next couple days, we are going to continue to hold on tight to very mild conditions. It's actually going to look gorgeous as we head into this weekend. But before we get to this weekend, I want to talk about some changes. Tomorrow's Halloween. And I'm really excited for it, for all those kiddos getting out there and trick-or-treating. But parents, make sure they have the jackets ready to go right around the corner. Heading into the afternoon hours tomorrow, it's nice and warm, but then we cool down a lot into the evening hours. Luckily, it's still dry, though. It's not until next Tuesday where we actually start to see some showers in the forecast for us. So just painting that picture throughout the next 7 days, holding on tight to 60s today, nice and cool, right around average, if not below in certain microclimates like the East Bay and all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley. Tomorrow, we start to average out a little bit more, back with sunnier skies on tap for us. It's not until next Tuesday and Wednesday, late Tuesday night, I should say, as we start to see those clouds rolling in from offshore, and that's going to bring in some showers, too, right around the corner. For our inland spots, it's the exact same setup. Cloudy skies today. You see that behind me right now over the Bay Bridge, off into the East Bay, off into the distance. We're holding on tight to sunny skies tomorrow. So if you liked yesterday's forecast, don't worry. We get a repeat of that again tomorrow. Clear skies along the coast, too. And then we're going to hold on tight to nice weather into this weekend's forecast to kick off November. Daylight savings time is right around the corner, too. And then once we head into next week, we'll have some stormy weather to potentially look forward to. We'll have more on that in a bit. For now, back to you.
The San Francisco Giants just formally introduced their new manager, Tony Vitello. He is the former coach of the University of Tennessee, and this is his first Major League Baseball team. Giants team president Buster Posey said the two were aligned in their long-term vision for the team.
I was looking for somebody that I felt like shared a similar vision, had similar ideals. You've heard him talk about people over and over again up here. To me, that's your secret sauce in everything. It's the relationships you build. And so for me, it was finding somebody that I think we matched up in a lot of those ways, and that we could grow together.
I think we all want the same thing. It's to win. And, that's where the conversations have started to this point.
Vitello coached the Tennessee Volunteers for 7 seasons, leading them to multiple conference championships and the College World Series in 2024. Well, the big question for the 49ers this weekend will start quarterback Brock Purdy play. Andrea Nakano has the updates in our Red and Gold reports. The 49ers have another tough road test this Sunday as they head to New York to take on the Giants. One big question, could Brock Purdy return to the field this weekend? Andrea Nakano has our Red and Gold report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
The 49ers have quite a list of players that are injured that did not practice today, but Brock Purdy was out there making throws. This is his 3rd week being limited in practice, and Coach Shanahan says whether or not he plays on Sunday is up to his QB.
Last time we felt like he was feeling pretty good, looked pretty good in practice. And then in the game, one hit and set him back 5 or 6 weeks, whatever this has been, 4 weeks. So it's kind of a sensitive situation, and hopefully getting some reps in practice and stuff will give him that confidence that it's better than it was last time.
Juwan Jennings is playing through multiple injuries right now, and it's definitely had an impact on his production the last 3 weeks.
Playing with injuries sucks. It's always tough, and the hardest part is that nobody cares when you're out there on the field.
I just love playing with this team, man. It's just, to go out there every day and see guys, like Kittle, Juice, Mac 10 out here. We got a lot of guys on this team who want to contribute, and just great players that make it fun to come to work every day.
The 49ers offense had a season low of 15 points last week, but they hope to get back on track on Sunday against the Giants defense that has given up 71 points in the last 2 games. For the Red and Gold Report, I'm Andrea Nakano.
Well, still ahead, the Oakland Zoo getting into the Halloween spirit, how the animals are helping out with pumpkin carving. Well, our furry friends at the Oakland Zoo are getting into the spooky spirit this Halloween. Animals big and small waking up with carved pumpkins in their habitats, and they gave them a little trim of their own. A lot of them enjoyed the treat, but yeah, this black bear just went all in on that. Thanks for joining us today. You can stream us for free anytime on the free CBS News app.